Hello and welcome to Heroes of History. This time we are doing a setup here with Sun Tzu and we're going to figure out if he is any good. Well, he looks nice though. A lot of attack and a lot of defense also. A little less hit points than Huamalan which we just took. Let's also look in here and see what else we can find here. There's an info here about the stats here, while we can see it all squared down here. He has a base damage on 252, that's a bit different. He has a faster attack speed. His immediate range movement speed is medium, so not so fast as Huamalan. Non-evasion, critical chance and damage the same. Single target damage heal taken. Well, nothing changed there. So let's look into his ability. It is the Art of Defense, which, well, it sounds cool. Melee strike, debuff, buff. Well, that's a lot of things at once. Strikes the current target twice, dealing a total of 218% damage to all enemy units within a range of 2.5. So a little longer than Huamalan, but well, she is not constricted to her own range. Then Sun Tzu centers himself, causing an aura of calmness, reducing nearby enemies' attack by speed by 15% for 8 seconds. Nice. Regular charge is 8 seconds, so that's permanently reduced speed of 15% from, well, the first time he throws the Art of Defense. All friendly units gain 15% attack speed for 8 seconds. Again, all the time from the first time it's released. Nice. And I have it at level 30, so, well, it should be super strong. Now let's get down to the awakening. There's some visual bugs here. Well, he already had a 7.5% extra attack, and attack speed is up with 12 hits per minute, so he is already better than he could have been. So I have already drafted him 3 times, and I would like to have him 3 times more, because here's another 15% attack, and oh, that's 15% attack too, and here is some focus regeneration, so he will even cast his abilities faster. So that's what, 37.5% extra attack. That sounds pretty useful. He'll be very strong in area damaging. Now let's see him in a test how strong he is in area damaging. And let's see. Let's probably start with the last time. And let's see. We change him out here with Tomorrow Gosen and see if well, he is better and performs better. Now, and technically he should perform better than Huamalan. Well, his ability is stronger, he has awoken twice, so a lot more than her too. So in every aspect he should be stronger than her, but it's interesting to see whether or not that can be seen on the battlefield now, because it's not always when you look at how the ability works that it is all in their favor. So let's see, there he shoots it again. That does a lot of weird damage and debuffing, and everyone's just swarming around him here. And then the dragon comes. It's like a huge nuke, and there we go. Well, let's have the third wave too. Now take him down, boys. Shields are up, healing is coming, and Huamalan is, well, nuking him first, I think. That's a pretty close, this one. And there's a lot of people falling down on their knees now. That's a good combination, the line there in the third round. Well, I can say for sure now that we won't have any of our units, or heroes at least, being lost here. There's a few more tricks up the sleeve that needs to be thrown, and then let's look at the battle stats. Let's see who won this round, and who won. And she did way more damage. Well, he ain't a great damage dealer, and he ain't a great well, king of soaking up damage, but, well, the lessened attack speed of the enemy and the heightened attack speed of our own units, well, it's not as easily seen in this in these battle stats. So we'll need to look at the underlying facts when we're finished testing this. But ultimately, this first one, well, it wasn't much in his favor. I'll admit that much. If I want someone effective at killing people, she is way stronger and way faster. But it also counts that you can make your teammates put up on their best behavior and start a killing spree, as well as holding the enemy back from doing the exact same thing. As you can see here, you should make them all be less effective at attacking, but we really need them to be that, otherwise Bismarck will soon be dying, because, well, he is super much in trouble. Even though he's getting shields, both of his own and other people's as well, and, well, he'll soon be, well, dying if not something's happening out of the ordinary. Oh, he actually survived. Even if, even if he doesn't behave too well in the matter of damaging a lot, well, he still made this one 3-star. And that's a good thing compared to Mogosen. So, well, it helped keep Bismarck alive that the enemy wasn't as fast attacking, so, well, after all, damage isn't everything with all the buff parts that every hero now and then throws around, so we'll have to take everything into consideration when we look into this, and so far that's a high buff for the Sun Tzu, but of course, even though he can make the enemy less effective at fighting and his own units more effective at fighting, well, he still needs someone with a strong attack that can really, well, tear down the enemies. And, well, in Huomalan, he has that support, so it's a very effective combination, and I can't wait to reach the enjoyment of putting them up a few levels, because, well, it's rather cheap to get them up from level 40 compared to some of my top heroes who is at level 80 or even higher. So with this effectiveness, they will be very, very strong in the newly released historical battles feature that has landed right here on beta. If you haven't watched the video yet, well, you should. And, well, it is also an early release, and you should keep that in mind, because there will be more, and a lot more of releases in that, because there's only 2 sections that is up right now of the new items that your heroes can get. Well, there's actually is 5 slots, so there is probably going to be more historical battles that needs testing before it hits live. Let's look at the battle stats here. They look like this. Well, he might damage very little in himself, but 102,000 hit points dealt. That's an awfully lot of damage. I can just be happy I'm not on the other side of that battlefield. So let's take this battle and see how that goes. Well, it's a 2-wave battle. That's one of those that end up with a 2 stars. So let's see if we can have some reduced attack speed on our enemies. That would be great. And some burn damage, please. And a lot of it, because, well, Bismarck is actually under a sore attack. Even if we win this round, there might be a great chance that he will not survive the second round of this battle. Let's see here. Well, put them down for slowing attack speed here. Oh, come on, we need some. Oh, we need a lot of area damage. Come on, Hua. You need to burn the enemies. And yes, now they're falling everywhere. And I think even this is enough for a 3-star in this battle. Well, effective as hell. Well, that's awesome. Now, you can get pretty far with 4 stars if you have the right heroes. Let's look at the battle stats over here. Just like that. Well, one last test left, and finally he did almost as much damage as Hua Mulan. So, well, sometimes he just tends to be at the right place at the right time. Now let's see here with the final battle 8 here and see, well, can we have a 5th 3-star? Because then this is, well, maybe the strongest combination we have had so far. And to be honest, it is also really nice to see them work together here. And I'm not sure I can come up with a stronger composition. Actually, at least not with the 4 stars I have, or rather 5 stars I have now. I simply think this is the best I can do. But we're almost killing Bismarck here once again. But we seem to be able to keep him alive even without him using, well, his sort of Anchor of Life thing. So, well, one final time, let's look at the battle stats and see how good they are. There we go. Well, it was a 5 out of 5 for Hua Mulan, but I still think that he did a great part of those victories, because, simply put, it ended up in all 3 stars, though the battles seemed to tend a little longer. Well, in comparison, Bismarck gave more damage. Well, with a higher attack speed, that should be a logical thing. And well, 15,000 less damage from Sun Tzu compared to Tomoe Gosen. That, well, somebody has to deal the damage. Only 700 more for Louis XIV. And for Milan, well, 9,000 extra damage approximately, and even Sugar the Great 1,100 more. Average damage taken, Ottoman Bismarck is the same. Well, Sun Tzu a little less than Tomoe Gosen. A little more for Louis XIV's Hua Mulan. Well, it seems like a lot more actually. And a little more for Sugar the Great too. As you can see, he only revived twice here compared to 3 times with Tomoe Gosen, so that is better. And well, the extra time with the enemies being slower at dealing damage, well, Sugar the Great even gave more healing, so it is definitely a stronger team than the previous one. So this is maybe the strongest I can come up with, but I'll test the other 5 stars I have left now that have anything to do on an area damaging battlefield, but that will not be tonight. I'll say thank you for watching this video.